Hello guys and welcome here. My name is Yassine and in today's video we are going to talk about the filter function inside of Microsoft Excel. So you'll see this function is pretty nice and interesting, and it allows you to filter elements inside of small databases or big databases. So what I did right here is I have divided this function in three parts. Well, basically there is three parts to this function, and I have created a little database that you can see right here. So you can just pause the video and simply create yourself this little database since we are going to work with. Now, the filter function is divided in three parts. The first part is the array. So what exactly will be the array? The array will be pretty much all of your database. When you want to render something, so let's say you want to look for all the condos, like here for example I have tab of homes, I have condos. I want to render all the elements inside of my database. So if in this case I want to render all of those elements, I will have to select all the database right here. Include. After that we have the second part of our filter function, which will be include. The include part will be the part where we want to, for example, let's talk about our filter function. Let's say we want to look by type of homes. So we want to look for all the condos. So in this case, we are going to select all type of homes. That will be in our second part of the function. And the last part will be if empty. So if, for example, nothing has been rendered right here, we want to simply write none, for example, or there is no information. So for you to understand a little bit better, let's create, let's have one filter option, a function. So let's do it right here. So we'll start by writing down equal, and we are going to write down filter. Here we have our filter function that will appear. Now, as you can see, we have our filter function that is divided in three parts. As I said, the first part will be our all database. So we want to look for elements inside all this database, so the whole array. Now, once we have our array, the second part will be the include part of the function. So in our case, we want to look for all the condos, so we want to look for a type of home. So we're gonna select the part of the database that is type of home. Now, what exactly we want to look for inside of our type of home? We want to look for condos. So inside of include, we are going to add a little equal sign, and we are going to write down condos. So we'll open up those little parentheses right here, and we are going to write down condo. And finally, the last part, if empty. So if, for example, there is no condos inside of type of home, what exactly we want to render? So in our case, we want to render no info. And we're gonna close our little parentheses. So now if we run this function, as you can see, all the condos that we have right here have appeared. So we have a condo in New York, one in Toronto, two in Montreal, one in Chicago, and one in Miami. So those are pretty much all the condos that we have right here. If we modify our function and now instead of condo, we write down, mention. And we try to run our function. As you can see, there is no information about mentions. But if we write down house, since there are houses here, so I'll just write down house and I run it. As you can see, there is just one house inside of our database that is in New York. All right. Now, let's say that instead of looking by type of home, I want to look by city. So what exactly would I change inside of my database? So not inside of my database, but inside of my function. It's pretty simple. I will change the include part of my function. So what exactly I want to look for? I want to look for cities. So here, I'm going to change it. So instead of being from C8, it's gonna be from D8 to D20. And here we go. Here we are going to look only for, by cities. So in this case, as you can see, it's going to be by cities. So let's say we want to find out all the houses that are, in this case, in Miami. and we're gonna write down Miami. Here we go. As you can see, there is 2 houses in Miami. So we looked by type of home. Now we're looking by city. So this is how pretty much you can use the filter function. So if I repeat, if I summarize it really quick, there is 3 parts in the filter function. The first one will be the array, which will pretty much be the whole database. Then the second part will be the part include. So by what filter you want to look for certain elements inside of your database. And finally, the last part of the function, which is if empty. This part will allow you to add something, a certain comment, if, for example, there is no information about the element that you are looking for inside of your database. So once again, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe, and see you in another of my videos.